So, the road to WrestleMania is now getting exceptionally close. We are like 1 month away, and we did just have a big episode of SmackDown from Italy. And the general consensus is that it was a little bit weird. Now, I do understand this, because there were many things on that show where you're like, well, it kind of makes sense, but kind of didn't hit in the way that I was expecting. And I guess it's the main event angle that most people are talking about. Now, listen, not in my wildest dreams am I going to criticize WWE for giving me Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. It is totally nuts that that's actually even on the table. And I know that some people wanted the singles matches first, but surely you can use this as a jumping off point to get to those. We have a 2-night SummerSlam, and we probably have a 2-night Royal Rumble in 2026, whatever the flub it's going to be. But I am excited about this on paper, like I truly am. And I think no matter what else you put on this weekender, this is the match that's going to have the most jeopardy, because CM Punk could win, Roman Reigns could win, Seth Rollins could win. Whoever does win surely has to go after a world championship. It is going to have so many alterations to it and so many pathways that you can jump into. I want to make it very clear, I'm super duper whooper excited. I think as we get closer, the promos are going to get crazier and crazier. We've already done the big brawl, and that worked too. The gravitational pull of the WrestleMania sign got everybody here. But yes, there was something, at least from my vantage point, where you're like, well, that was really good. But where was the extra oomph? Like, where was the Oompa Loompa? Now we have like 3 weeks, right? So you've got plenty of time to get this, plenty of time to get to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. I thought CM Punk was excellent, as always. I think he's in the zone right now when it comes to his promos. Everything he says is absolutely accurate. He's no screw job in a Royal Rumble, because that's not possible. And he absolutely deliberately made a big deal out of this favor, and even said to Paul, this is not the favor, but thank you very much for delivering me Roman Reigns on a silver platter. And then he whooped Roman Reigns' ass. Seth Rollins got involved like a child. He's like, oh, I want to play too. And they all had their moment again of pointing to the sign to let you know it's a bit like a Hollywood fight. You get 4 punches, you get 4 punches, you get 4 punches, and we'll make sure we don't give any indication as to what direction we do want to go. And Roman Reigns was good here too. You know, basically hates CM Punk, hates Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins really leaned into the fact it goes back to the Shield days. So, you know, we planted a lot of seeds, and I would have to imagine the big explosion point is going to be what the favor is. Now, it cannot be, I understand why people would predict this, but from my vantage point, it cannot be you get to side with CM Punk when CM Punk clicks his fingers. Because let's look at this in a story world, right? So before War Games, before the Survivor Series, Paul Heyman goes to CM Punk. We need your help, CM Punk. We need the old CM Punk. And CM Punk goes, sure, but the favor is you have to dick over Roman Reigns as soon as I say so. Paul Heyman would be like, what's the point of that? I'm trying to protect my man. You know, that can't be it. It doesn't make sense for me from a story point of view. Not that you couldn't make it work. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking about here. But I think it needs to be something more focused on Punk and not Roman Reigns than vice versa, that ultimately may cause a little bit of a rift which separates Paul Heyman from Roman, and he goes with CM Punk. Because again, Roman Reigns is never going to go back to being a super duper mega heel, I don't think, just because his babyface character is exactly the same as his heel character, and that invasion in Italy last night was absolutely ridiculous. Seth Rollins already kind of straddles both of those, like when he's talking about who's a bad guy he hates right now, I can't even imagine, but Drew McIntyre, yeah? So if he's saying bad things about Drew McIntyre, hooray, Seth Rollins, whereas when he starts aiming his barbs at CM Punk and Roman Reigns, you do get a little bit of boo. So Punk could be gearing up for a heel turn here. Now, I don't think it's the right time. I think he is so damn over and people love him so much, he may actually be too big. But again, if anybody was going to be able to do it, it would be him. I think it all depends on the story you want to tell. I mean, what WWE does have in their back pocket now is if John Cena beats Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, which I believe he will, and CM Punk wins this match, you go right into that feud for the WWE title. I think it's going to do okay before you probably double back round to Cody. In either way, right? John Cena could lose it to CM Punk, and then you get the Cody feud or vice versa. Maybe that's when CM Punk actually goes to the bad side. So, good ending to SmackDown. I just expected more, and maybe that's on me. Maybe I should have checked my expectations at the door, and maybe I've been a little bit spoiled as of late, because once more, we just had 3 of the biggest stars ever in WWE, really, when you break it right down. I mean, they've all had their moments in certain ways, and they are sort of, I don't know if they're carrying the company now, because it's more of a team effort, but they're right up there. And the fact we're going to throw them into a triple threat match, I don't even think it's going to be the main event anymore after what I've seen. I think we will coronate Jey Uso at the end of night 1 to really draw a line under the fact we are giving him a push. And then, of course, John Cena, Cody Rhodes has the main event on night 2. But I don't think that's a problem, because I have seen a few people on social media going, when CM Punk gets his main event, it should be in something not like this, for lack of a better term. And I know what they mean. He should be going and maybe even potentially winning a world championship or defending it. Either is fine, depending on what his character is. But it was decent, right? And again, I think I am being a little bit too disparaging here. However, the Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton stuff, that just wasn't for me. I don't mind it. I'm not a huge fan of the whole you're in this room, you're in that room, we'll draw a line down the middle. I did like the fact they talked over each other. That was something that was awesome about the main event bit too, is we structured it so it didn't feel like you were just standing there being insulted. It felt like three real human beings. And that's what Charlotte and Tiffany did well. But it just kind of felt like when Charlotte clearly started taking some shots from nowhere, Tiffany Stratton, as you have to assume is the case, she is still brand new at this, was learning on the job. Here she didn't do a bad job at all. I thought she was decent, but she'll do better next time. This goes back to that video that set everybody off. It's why I want Charlotte Flair to win, because then she can work with Tiffany Stratton throughout the next 6 months to SummerSlam, and ultimately at the end of that feud, Tiffany wins matches 2 and 3. She's still the champion, or she's won her championship back, and we should be able to elevate her and say, hey, here you go, and now you'll be able to handle anything. I don't see what she gets out of beating Charlotte just once, because no matter what you think about Charlotte, she's very good at what she does, right? And here, she just took no prisoners. It was like, I am going to assault you with my words, and let's see what you've got. It wasn't as intense, but it reminded me when Roman Reigns and John Cena had that first promo. And John Cena even said to Roman, you better learn how to cut a promo, kid. Tiffany was better than that, but she still has stuff to learn, because of course she does. It's at the start of her early career. I don't even mean that as a criticism. I just mean in the sense, did it make me more fired up for that match by the end? No. I thought the brawl last week was a lot better. And then even stuff like Jacob for 2 versus Braun Strowman. It was fine. That's all I had. So yeah, it was fun. I'm in love with Jacob for 2. I'm a big fan of Braun Strowman too. He's a Nia Jax character. No one can do Braun Strowman as well as Braun Strowman. But the disqualification just meant this whole feud now feels like it's been going on and on and on. We've got the US title match next week, but surely there's going to be shenanigans there to build to a US title multi-man at Mania. Don't mind that either, as long as Jacob for 2 walks away with that belt. I think it's important. And it feels like we're going to put Braun Strowman in there, which shows that my video yesterday was already irrelevant. I was talking about people that are probably going to miss Mania or may miss Mania based on the evidence we do have. And I guess the multi-man could be LA Knight, Jacob for 2. I think you could put Solo in there to carry on that story. Braun Strowman and somebody else, maybe even Tama Tonga, should you so wish. But I'm sure I've forgotten someone that could easily be inserted in there. But again, fun stuff. But I was kind of watching it going, I don't really know what we could possibly do here in order to set the world on fire, which was also the same for the tag team stuff. Now, this actually even went off the rails for me. Pretty Deadly winning a #1 contender match, and then Legado del Fantasma going, yeah, but we want to be #1 contenders? And Montez Ford and Andrade be like, yeah, if you're Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, you should be livid. Why did we try so hard? And look, the match between the Street Profits and the Garzans was excellent. Well, excellent. It was really, really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and I love the Street Profits as the champions. I'm glad they got promo time. They're great. They're a great team. I hate the fact they've gone back to their old new music. Oh my gosh. Their OG theme is fine. It works. It gets the energy out there. I understand they may have wanted to do this, but it wasn't for me. But even in the back, when you had Pretty Deadly talking to DIY and then the Mosi Machine Guns talking to DIY, and we're going to do all these matches, and it's awesome. I love Pretty Deadly. I'm so happy they get a tag team match in England, because obviously that's where they're from, and it's going to be a wonderful moment. Like, I'm going to pop massively for that because I really enjoy those guys. I do assume we're doing a multi-man for the tag team titles of SmackDown too. I mean, they're better than the Raw ones. At least they appear on the show. But once again, I just a bit like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's all right. It's fine. I don't know, man. Maybe this is on me. But it goes to the opening segment too. Randy Orton, awesome pop. Kevin Owens' excuse, great. I did it to Sami Zayn. I did it to Cody Rhodes. I shouldn't have done it to you. Let's be the tag team champions. And Randy goes, nah, I'm just going to kick you in the head. Match made. It all just happened very, very quickly. And I suppose we do have to do that because now we need to get into the depth and we need to get into the nitty gritty. You don't need to lead it too long. And I still have this feeling that Kevin Owens and Randy Orton will have a stipulation. So you want to make sure they do things where someone goes, oh, fine. If we have to do that, that's what we will do. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I came at it from the wrong perspective. I don't think the 3 hours is helping, but I don't want to keep going on about that because it's boring. It's like, I know, Simon, you keep saying this, but I do think SmackDown is struggling with it. As a 2-hour show, you used to hit bangers out the park all the time. You already got a bad episode, but now it just feels like it drags a little bit, and you're like, man, I don't really know what's going on here. Like, I was a massive fan of the Zelina Vega stuff because it went against wrestling tropes. So Zelina Vega last week goes, oh, hi, Geese title shot, and Chelsea says, no, you must go through my goons. I thought she beat Piper, she beat Alba Fire, blah, blah, blah. But no, Piper even just beats her, and she beat her because of Chelsea Green's new group. Do you know how much I enjoyed that? Like, again, I don't know what the direction is. That's sort of the major issue hanging above it. But this is how it should be. Chelsea Green has hired goons in order to protect her, And it worked. That should go on at least for a little while before it does fall apart. Otherwise, what was the point to begin with? Like if John Cena doesn't win the WWE title, why did you turn heel, John? You absolute idiot. And I actually think what I liked, start to finish, the best was Liv Morgan versus Jade Cargill, because there was jeopardy for me, because as much as I like Jade, I did not want Liv to lose, because she's been on a tear recently. I think she's probably not even the most improved. I think she's one of the best in WWE right now. I don't think there's many you could say that with, but I would say it for her. But the match was really, really fun. The use of Raquel Rodriguez was really good. Naomi has just become an absolute terror, to the point I'm starting to side with her because she cracks me up so much. She's already doing great in this role. I can't wait until she gets some more promo time. And then, yeah, it's a numbers game thing, which is sort of, old school WWE, but if it works, man. I'm not going to criticize it. And Naomi smashes Jade Cargill in the head with the title. Liv Morgan pins her and celebrates like she just won the lottery. That character is so good. And then Naomi finally gets to beat up Jade Cargill and she stands above her. Now, I will bet my hairline that Jade Cargill beats her at WrestleMania, unless Bianca Belair is secretly a heel, but we'll have to wait and see. She was doing good work on social media this week, talking about Rhea Ripley. But it's fine. And Jade Cargill hasn't been pinned since like 2023. It really doesn't matter. She's so protected here. And you have to give something to Naomi, and if you were going to put her in a match with Liv, which the story dictated that we should do, because as Liv said earlier in the show, why didn't you come out and say I didn't do it, you horrible person? Liv Morgan shouldn't be losing. Now, we have drawn a line under this. I need a really good women's tag team match. I really do, because Liv and Raquel have something. They've made those belts feel like something, but if you don't continue to capitalize on it, you don't have teams waiting, people forget about it, like the Raw tag team titles, which just don't exist anymore, I will say for a second time. And the tag team match was all right as well. Again, I'm just repeating myself. It was hilarious that it was Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura against Jimmy Uso and Damian Priest. I mean, whoever thought that would happen? And it's nice that Damian Priest gets getting big wings. We should be doing that. But the fans were super into Drew McIntyre. Shinsuke Nakamura is just a guy. And, I mean, it could be Jimmy Uso in that US title match, I suppose. I don't know. He's a bit of an outlier at the moment. I don't think I put him in the video yesterday. I probably should, but I mean, there is still of a hint there. I've already said it. I think Drew versus Damon is already getting a hard rap. I think they're going to prove a lot of people wrong. But in terms of a build, it was just there. And we teased something with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins later as well. It's nice for the Drew McIntyre character because he would actually go after Damian Priest. It's not like this one has come out of left field. In terms of him being a truth teller and going after the people that have wronged him, he would absolutely be one of them. But again, it came and went, and I was like, is there anything else to say about this? I don't know who I'm talking to. But they were back to me and said, no, there's not. But I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. And there was a lot of good, I suppose, sort of teasing on this show. Like Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu are quite clearly going to fall out, which is why they could be in that US multi-man, because that could finally be where it falls apart. And that wouldn't be too bad either, because then LA Knight can hold that title for a little while longer before Jacob Fatu gets it. But I do ultimately think Jacob Fatu needs to get it. I just think it's time. You can't move him into the main event scene at the moment because it's so crowded. Like, it's absolutely nuts. So he should sort of, go the old school route of where you climb the ladder rung by damn rung, as The Rock said back in 1998. So I just don't think we ever need to talk about this SmackDown again, which is the big problem with it, given that we are a month away from WrestleMania. I didn't think it was the worst thing ever. Shout out to the guy that messaged me, and to be fair, he sent me a nice reply, but told me that I better not gaslight people by saying I like SmackDown. I thought it was fine. What do you want me to do? That's what my body and my feelings and my nerves and my brain are telling me. And I'm always going to be honest with you, otherwise what's the point why I make these videos? But I'll never think about it again. Nothing truly lit a life under my world. The main event segment got me excited for that match, but I'm still expecting more in a few weeks. And Charlotte versus Tiffany, for me, and again, wrestling's not written for me, so they shouldn't change anything that they do have on the table. But for me, we need Tiffany Stratton ready to come out with not even a home run promo, just something like, yeah, man, get Charlotte. At the moment, I don't have that. I feel like at the moment, the reason people don't necessarily want Tiffany to win, they want Charlotte to lose, just because there is this reputation that she has, or whatever word you want to use. People just don't like her, and you're allowed not to like her. It's perfectly fine. If she's a wrestling character, and you need to choose your pathway. We'll never talk about SmackDown again, though. That's the issue. We will never talk about it again. And last year, it was due to The Rock and all that craziness. At this point, people were just losing their minds. But I also don't want to compare the two, because we're in different years. The Rock's probably going to come back to TV soon. And I still think we've got a lot to do with John Cena, which will help the overall build. But I need to know what you think about this, so please do drop me a comment below. Interact with the video, like it, share it, subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. You can check out What Culture Wrestling for my full recap on Watts and Downs. Watts and Downs? Let's just call it that. Why not? And also watch another video on my channel. I'm so tired. Very stressed with all this Heathrow situation in the last 24 hours. Otherwise, again, stupid t-shirts, prowrestlingtees.com/Simon Miller, simonmiller.bigdarkhell.com. Can't talk today. Just go get some supplements. Gorilla Mind. Go follow me on social media, Simon316. Go look at my Simone drop video. That will make you laugh today. The move is called the drop. I thought people would come to that conclusion on their own, but they don't. I don't just throw in jokes on my videos they're not using in my wrestling career. That would be totally mad. Otherwise, have a delicious weekend, my friends. I regret saying delicious. I'll see you soon.